Hi everyone, and welcome to our video on using, let me get those pens, there we are, using the identity or using the sum and difference formulas to prove an identity. Okay, so all of the steps are the same from previous proving something's an identity or verifying something's an identity. We're going to choose one side and then continue to work with it with whatever other identities can help us, like Pythagoreans or reciprocal, or now we have addition and subtraction formulas. All right, so on these problems, usually if you see a special angle, so all right, here's a special angle, pi halves plus x. So over there on the right, just regular old x, that's not special. Here I've got a special addition of angles. So that means I should choose this side. I should choose the left-hand side. And remember, we just write out the same thing, so nothing changed yet. And then now we'll use the addition formula immediately. All right, so it's a sine formula, and I know the sine formula is to do sine of the first angle, cosine of the second angle, keep the plus or keep whatever that sign is up there, and then sine of the second angle, so alternate angles, and then cosine of, well, pi halves on this problem. Again, then I just double check, sine, cosine, looks good, plus in the middle, yep, and then the angles switched, yep, everything's looking good. And then with this problem, well, we can continue it. Sine of pi halves is 1. And then cosine of x, that's still cosine of x, plus sine of x. Cosine of pi halves is 0. It might help to put a little dot there on that problem for the multiplication. And then we can see, oh, the left term, 1 times cosine of x is just cosine of x. On the right term, sine of x times 0 is 0. And then we can see, oh yeah, there's our right-hand side for the full thing. There's our proof. Okay, so we did verify it, and it's all done. Okay, number 2. Again, I see instantly a special angle, something plus something, or if it's something minus something. So that should probably be the side that we start with. Again, there's no wrong answer on which side you start with, but remember that these are just simplifying problems one at a time. So one side at a time. So remember, we don't mix left terms or left-hand side with right-hand side because we're trying to prove something. We're not trying to solve an equation. We're trying to prove the one side is the other. All right, well, anyway, on this, so I set up my left-hand side, and then now I'm instantly going to do my formula. Okay, so the cosine of x plus y, I'm doing my addition formula. Cosine tells me I should do cosine and cosine minus sine and sine over the sine x sine y. And then from here, I do have a single denominator, so I'm going to break the fraction into parts. So cosine of x, cosine of y over sine x sine y, and then minus sine x sine y over sine x sine y. Okay, there we are. And then now let's continue simplifying. And remember, this right-hand side is the answer. So that's what I'm trying to find, this whole thing. Notice my left fraction, cosine of x over sine of x, this part here, is cotangent of x. And then notice my cosine of y over sine of y is cotangent of y. And then everything on the right, minus everything on the right term is everything divided by itself. So it's 1, which matches exactly what I wanted, right-hand side. So we got it. Okay, so often these proving identities or verifying identities are easier with these new formulas versus some of the stuff we've seen in the past, because at least we usually know exactly where to start and how to break it down. Now, one other thing I want to add before we finish, sometimes they do like to say, well, what'd you do from one step to the other? Whoop, that green got a little strange there. Let me erase that. Oop, freaking out again. Okay, so in the green, it might say, well, from this step to this step, I did an addition formula. Or they might say addition, subtraction formula, or identity. And then from this step to this step, it is just doing some algebraic rules. They might just say, well, simplify. And then from this step to this side, it was a combination of doing the reciprocal or quotient identity, reciprocal / quotient identity. That's the left term. And then the right term was just simplify. Okay, so they might ask those things like, hey, what'd you do there? Same deal, let's do that real quick on this first one. From the first one to this step, that is using an addition or subtraction formula. And then from this step to this step, that was just simplifying. And so was that step to that step, simplifying. We'll abbreviate simplifying. Okay, so that's it. Okay, so they might ask, well, what'd you do? What identity did you use? And we showed it. Okay, so thanks for watching. If you have any questions, please let me know.